People still asking me what is the best currency to save money. Well, it is hard to say which currency is the best to save money, as all the fiat currencies are losing against inflation, and this must be obvious. But we know which are one of the worst currencies that you would keep your money. And one of this currency is, of course, obviously, GBP, the British pound. The British pound is one of the worst currency that you would imagine to keep your wealth. Why is that? Well, at this chart, on this chart, we can see that in 2007, you would get for £1 around 1.6 euro, 160. That's a lot. Then the British pound just crashed, and you would get only €1 for £1. 1 to 1. It was disaster for British pound. Now it is 1.17, but as we can see, it is happening. It happened many times in last years. That British pound went even below €1 for £1. So you would get 9.50 for £10 euro. That means euro is better than the British pound. I'm not telling euro is a great currency. I'm not telling euro is a good currency to keep your money. But the British pound on this chart is just a bad currency compared to euro. GBP to USD, as we can see, you would get for British pound, for £1 in 2007, $2.11. Can you imagine? Now it is only 1.27. Actually, pound crashed 50% to US dollar. 50%. That means if we want go back to 2008, you would have to earn almost 100%. Yeah, it crashed 50%, but to get back, it must rise 50%, 100%. So the British pound is in a very big trouble. Very big trouble. Yesterday, the ECB, European Central Bank, actually lowered interest rate from 4.5 to 4.25 points. That means the euro interest on euro is less than on the British pound. As British pound, as we can see now on this chart, interest rate on British pound is 5.25. So British people, to keep the pound actually on required level, they need to have higher interest rate than euro. That means their currency is in worst situation. The British pound is losing to almost everything. For now, I just showed how much would you lose if you kept your money in British pound. Keeping money in British pound in the situation, in the case when British pound will behave the same way as in last 20 years, means you are a loser. You are just a loser. Also, of course, we can imagine that the British pound will be getting up and will be rising, but we don't see that now. We don't see that now. We have to keep on. Well, we have to keep on with what been happening in last almost 20 years. Look, this is direction that the British pound is losing to USD, to dollar. US dollar is much better currency than the British pound, of course. Look at this. Boom, 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 down, down, boom, and down, and down, and down. Well, if British will be doing the same, if British people will be doing the same for the economy, if they will be doing quantitative easing, lower interest rate, etc., doing stupid things, then the British pound will be going down to US dollar. So keeping British pound, even if they have higher interest rate than euro, is loss. Yeah. So I'm not telling you that any currency is good, as we know that there is no currency in the world that is good to keep with the inflation, to keep with the rising wages, to keep with the rising gold price, property prices, land price, etc., etc. This is how it is. This is how it is. Money is good. Cash is good. But there is something like diversification. We need to have diverse sources. Well, I'm not telling you to buy or sell British pound, US dollar, whatever. I'm just telling what happened, what is happening, and probably what will happen. It's not a direction or advice. This is just informational educational video. But obviously, British pound is the worst currency out of these main currencies, major currencies. This is obvious. This is obvious. Keeping money in US dollar wasn't make you rich in last 20 years. But so British pound, even worse. That would be even more stupid to keep British pound. Yeah. So euro was better, dollar was better. Even not major currencies like look at this. Look at this. GBP, Czech, CZK. This is currency of Czech Republic. Look at this chart. Look at this chart. £1 in 2008. £1. For £1 you would get 62 Czech crowns. Now it is just only 29 crowns, and it is going down. Just in you see April, 23rd of April, you would get only 25. 25 Czech crowns for £1 from 70 almost. Look, from it is almost to get back to the point from 2000. It was 2000. You see, that was 2008. From 2000, so 24 years ago, quarter of century. To go back to this level for British pound, you would have. British pound would have to rise almost to 300% of today's price. Yeah, can you imagine that? So it is almost impossible, probably. Well, of course, British can invent something and they can get rich, like during the Industrial Revolution or something like this, but. It is not very likely. Not very likely. How on earth would they invent something? I don't know, maybe. But this maybe is very little, maybe. They have started Industrial Revolution, but they were imperium. They had this influence around the world. The British pound was the major currency, etc. But now they are not. They are not imperialists anymore. British pound is not a major currency. They got out of the European Union. They have internal problems. They even don't have money for switch. Actually, they destroyed for many weeks their rivers and seasides, throwing sewage from disgusting. They don't have money for it. Actually, they are polluting oceans. They are polluting oceans. Disaster. They don't have money for it to keep clean. So they are polluting oceans. Well, many countries polluting oceans like India, China, etc. This is the truth. Well, but as we can see, the British pound was worst currency that you would imagine, but people didn't get it. Well, many people got it because they bought gold or Bitcoin or investing in properties when the interest rate was low. So the properties were rising. But now the interest rate is high. So British pound compared to US dollar was crap, to euro was crap, to Czech crown was crap. But this is not only, look, this is CNY. This is CNY, this is Chinese. Look, look at this, from 16 CNY per 1 GBP, it dropped to 7.4. Can you imagine? It is over. It is over, even though they have so cheap currency now. Their currency lost 300%, actually 200%. Well, it lost to many currencies 75% or 60%. But to go back to those high levels, they would have to gain net 200%. 180%. Yes. So they lost 200%. Their currency is cheap at the moment. It is cheap at the moment. But they are not able to compete. CNY, another currency. GBP, Polish gold. Look at this. Since 2004, you see, it was 7, but it was before even once almost 8. I remember, almost 8. And actually it dropped to 4, but now it's on a quite high level of 5. But if the Polish gold will go the same way as the Czech crown, CNY, Chinese currency, and other currencies, GBP will drop to 350. If Polish gold behaved as CNY or Czech crown, today GBP would be 2.9 Polish gold per 1 pound. It is disaster. All Polish people will pack and go back to Poland or to Spain or to Italy. I believe that now the British economy is just could await a big crash. It would happen already, but there was 2020 crisis. There was 2022 crisis. And actually, throughout the history in last centuries, when the British were imperialists, they used to gain when the Europeans fight each other, and now Europeans fight each other. Ukraine has with the Russians fight each other, so they used to gain. This is the best scenario for British to gain something. It's always been like this. British used to, for throughout the centuries, always made problems, always tried to actually make mess in Europe. So the European states would fight with each other, and when the two people are fighting, third person is watching and is gaining. Yeah? And this is the British political direction for many centuries that they used to conduct actually. But at the moment we know one thing, that if the British pound will go the same way like in 20 years, keeping money in British pound, it is one of the stupidest. Keeping money in British pound is like throwing away money. Yeah? But it could be even twice worse than it was in 20 years. Actually, British pound would behave even more. British pound actually had problems in the last 20 years. But now it can speed up even twice. So to keep money in British pound now is much worse than in last 20 years, because the British pound will go down twice faster than in last 20 years. And the British economy. This is the case. Thank you. Please subscribe my channel, like and comment. And you can also share this video on your social media. Thank you very much for your help with this. Thanks. Bye.